Okay.
So my name is Juana Alonso, and I'm going to present my proposal about the arsenal, which can be summarized in planning a green local market. The content of this presentation will be all the subjects that we have been talking about during these days, and how can I think that they can be applied into the project. So as you all know, the arsenal is in the city of Las Palmas, Gran, Canaria. It was built in 1922, and its origin comes from the Second World War due to the continued arrival of ships from the countries that were taking part into the war. The total surface of the arsenal is about 11 hectares, and the built surface about 21,000 square meters. So what can I do in the arsenal? Well, my idea is to create a new local market powered mainly by solar energy. It's not a matter of creating new buildings rather than conserving what already exists and reusing the spaces and buildings that have plenty of history and culture. It is true that there are other markets in the zone, especially the Santa Catalina and Mercado Central, but there are many characteristics that will make this market unique. These include the products will be local and also from local farmers. Then it will be surrounded by chill out areas and green open spaces where people can eat, relax, and enjoy the landscape. And in addition, it will also have ample gastronomy from local products and also international products from the main countries that visit the island. And it will contribute to the creation of local employment. In terms of mobility, the arsenal is located in the main road of the island, but however it faces the problem of congestion. Specific in the area of the arsenal, it's only 700 meters from the Tunnel Julio Rengo, which is the connection between the north part of the island and the city. And also it's about 2 kilometers away from the Belén Maria roundabout, which is the entrance of the containers and all the passengers that come by ships from other islands. However, the strategic location of the arsenal promotes the idea of soft mobility with the already existence of this bike lane and also the maritime avenue where people can go walking. And also it's at the end of the pedestrian street of Mesa y Lopez. An important problem that exists in the area of the arsenal is the lack of parking spaces. But this problem is not going to be solved in this project, because if we create some parking places, then it would happen that people come here, leave their car, and go to somewhere else. So the idea is to create some parking spaces, but only for emergency and tourist services. So according to mobility, it is not necessary to create new infrastructure. The idea is to increase the efficiency of the public transport and to reduce the damage that we cause to the environment. In terms of the structure, this is the total distribution in square meters of all the areas. And well, I'm going to show here. Well, here we will have two local markets. Then we will have we are going to rehabilitate this building for the maintenance of the solar power energy. And then we will also rehabilitate this building with the shape of an eagle in order to celebrate some international events. And then we will have these green areas, and this is the road only for emergency and tourist services, as well as the park. Well, based on some calculation that we learned the other day, I think that according to the surface that I have assigned to each of the buildings, the maximum capacity of the arsenal will be about 113,000 people. As an extra source of income in order to maintain the arsenal, each of the sellers of the market will initially have to pay 1,000 euros, and then I was thinking about two ideas: paying a fixed amount as a rent or a percentage, depending on the season of the year and the profits. So at the end I chose that they will have to pay 20% of the monthly sales as the rent. This system already exists in other places in the island, such as in the shops of the airport, and it works very well. This is my proposal about the budget. Another market is nowadays being carried out in the island, in the village of San Mateo, and the cost is estimated is about 3.3 million euros. So more or less, I think that the construction of the rehabilitation of these two markets will be about 5 million euros. Then the green about 2 million, and 1 million for the solar panel energy. Well, the green spaces. We will have this big and the most important green space that will be plenty of artificial ecological grass and local species and a lagoon. Then we will have a vertical garden that will divide the Nautic Club and the Arsenal in order to reduce the space. And then we will also have a local orchard in front of the market that will be for plant vegetables that then can be used inside the market for cooking the menus. And then we will have this terrace in order with ecological furniture in order to eat and chill out and relax. So the idea is that the Arsenal become a corridor between other green spaces that already exist in the area. Well, in terms of tourism, 75% of the people that arrive to the touristic zone La Cantera are Spanish. Last year, almost 1 million people entered into the city by the port, by cruise ships, and that's why we are going to create a stand in the entrance of the city in order to promote and to give some advertising about the market. In addition, the language skills of the staff will be also very important. Some information point and tourist point inside the market will be developed in order to give some guided basis to the tourists and explain all the things that we have inside the market. And it also will be a corridor with the sea part of the city and other touristic places such as Ciudad Jardín and Vegeta. In commerce terms, the management of the Arsenal will be in the hands of the Cabildo de Gran Canaria, and it will be also a corridor with other commercial areas such as the shopping center of Remuelle, Corte Inglés, and the central market. And the idea of the rehabilitating the Eagle building is to try to introduce with different events a sort of technological and scientific research inside the Arsenal. The future is plenty of uncertainty, and depending on the demand that the market will receive, some areas can be improved, such as the green spaces and also the parking. Well, as you all know, the Arsenal is located in a city port. Here enter all the cruises, but this is a protected area. So nowadays we are not going to create anything, but depending on the future demand of the Arsenal, one idea should be to create a bridge inspired in this one that already exists in Barcelona, and will reduce the current distance in about 75%. In order to face the main consequences of the climate change in the island that in the future will affect the area of Las Canteras, I propose to create some road elevation and also the construction of some breakwater. So finally, the sustainability, the idea is to combine economy, society and environment, and that is why recycling is very important in the island. Specific containers will be developed inside the market, and all the sellers will have to recycle their waste. Those ones who don't comply in this norm will face an extra cost of about the increase in the monthly rate. Additionally, some deposits for the water will be developed in the maintained building in order to reduce the water for watering the gardens and cleaning the space. The idea is to also work in an atmosphere of circular economy, and as I explained before, the main source of energy will be solar panel, and maybe a future project in collaboration with the Port Authority will be the creation of some wave rollers in order to take some energy from the waves. Well, that's all, and I include this sentence that for me summarizes very well all this presentation, and also what I have learned from the science, that this goal without a plan is just a wish. And that's it.